As public sector workers, our work is inherently political. At the end of the day, every one of us have our working conditions set by our state government. It's absolutely vital for those of us who are interested in improving in our work to engage at the political level.
So, if you haven't met me, my name's Christina Stevenson. You heard I'm running for the labor.
We absolutely have to be heard by candidates who want to run for office, people in office. Because if they forget what we want, or if they forget what we need, they're not going to do our work.
Let me go to my participants so I can see who is raising their hand. Representative Fahey.
Thank you, Joey.
Legislators don't always know what we're doing, right? They don't know what our problems are. They don't know what our struggles are. And so we have to take that information to them.
Our history in this country is that the labor movement is incredibly effective at fighting for workers' rights, and that's why we've been under attack for so many decades, is because we are effective when we're involved. Those bosses that we organize against in the workplace have political power. These are the few tools we have in this democracy to try to make change, to hold people accountable, and it's so important right now.
Legislative victories that really hit me where I work. Some increases in funding and some changes in funding for behavioral health care. The way that those workers were being treated was awful for them. And so I feel really good about both Cascadia getting organized and also about those services being funded and supported better.
The Reproductive Health Equity Act, which was passed in 2017. How does that impact us? Well, when Roe versus Wade was overturned by the Supreme Court, we knew that in Oregon, we were a safe haven for not just women in this state, but around the country to come here knowing that they have unquestioned access to reproductive health care. And this is very much a worker's right.
There are a bunch of different ways that AFSCME members can make their voices heard through political work. Every election cycle, talk to your local about candidate interviews in order to make sure that your local's needs, your personal needs are getting heard by candidates for office. Door knocking, phone banking.
So lobby days are important because they're an opportunity for AFSCME members to travel to the Capitol, have discussions face-to-face with different state lawmakers. This is what's happening where I'm working, and we need some solutions or to advocate for some of the legislation that AFSCME has sponsored that would impact and better the workplace for different AFSCME members.
Whatever your politics are, whatever your personal beliefs are, whatever your personal allegiances are, nobody gets shut out. And in fact, we need the diversity. When there's folks from DEQ and OLCC and public defenders and DOC, it shows them that we're everywhere. We're not 3 people, we're not 5 people. We are tens of thousands of people around the state who are engaged in all kinds of work. Right? They can't show up and be somebody who's had to work mandatory overtime every week for the last 2 years. They can't do that. We need us for that.
Anyone can write a check, but we don't just write checks. We don't just give money. We build relationships. And so we want to make sure that, the $5 you're giving a month, you can then go out and meet that candidate and you can talk to that candidate and you can say, hey, I gave money to you, right? That builds a relationship that carries on so that when that legislator is sitting at their desk about to vote, your image passes through their mind before they make that vote. So they're thinking about you because you volunteered on their campaign. You gave them that $5 a month. And that happens best when we're dealing with local candidates. AVIP is the AFSCME Values and Practice Political Fund. It's new. We've just started up in the last year, and it's a small donor fund. So it takes small amounts of money from members accumulate something together so that we can have more political power. There's so many ways to sign up for AVIP. If you go out outside these doors to the political table, we have cards there signed up. You can also sign up online. You can do payroll deduction. You can actually do one-time donations into the PAC if that's your interest. But we're going to have as many ways as possible for you to sign up and participate in this program because we think it's so important.